minasan, konnichiwa. If you have a problem in English, or if something bad happens to you, do you know how to get that problem solved by politely complaining about it? My name is Jen, and today we're going to take a look at 15 ways that you can complain politely and express your problem in English. In English, we have a saying that says, you catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. What this saying means is that when you are complaining about something and you want your problem to be solved, you will get what you want or get what you need easier if you are being nice to the other person versus if you are being rude to that person. Okay? So when you are complaining in English, it's very important that you are still polite. Yes, you have a problem, there's a fly in your soup, whatever the problem is, you need to express it in a polite way so that you can get the problem fixed. So today, 15 ways on how to be polite and express what your problem is. When you are complaining, it is very important to start your complaint with a nice expression so that the person who you are complaining to doesn't feel like you are attacking them. So two very common ways to start your complaints are sorry, but, or excuse me. So sorry and excuse me. So our first expression today is sorry, but I'd like to make a complaint about blah, blah, blah. So, sorry, I'd like to make a complaint about my hotel room. It seems to be really dirty. Expression number 2. Excuse me, I have a small complaint to make. You're using the word small to make it seem a little bit nicer that you're complaining. So, excuse me, I have a small complaint to make. This perfume doesn't smell very good. Really, what I would like to say is, yo, this perfume you sold me smells like rotten eggs and is completely disgusting. How can you sell this junk? But I'm not going to say that. I'm going to complain politely by using words like a little bit and things like that. Expression number 3. I'm sorry to say this, but blah, blah, blah. For example, maybe you have a teacher and they're teaching you and their breath smells really, really bad. So every time they're speaking to you, it's like fish breath in your face. So I'm sorry to say this, but your breath smells a little bit bad, right? Again, using a little bit or small. I'm sorry to say this, but... Expression number 4. Sorry to bother you, but... blah, blah, blah. So maybe I'm having a problem with my cell phone, so I will go to my phone company and I will say, sorry to bother you, but I'm having a problem with my phone. Or sorry to bother you, but could you please take a look at my phone? Expression number 5. Sorry, but I need to complain about blah, blah, blah. Maybe you are eating in a restaurant. This is so delicious. But you're a vegetarian and you find meat in your vegetarian dish. Sorry, but I need to complain about the meat in my vegetarian dish. Sorry, but I need to complain about it. This is a little bit strong, the word need, but if there's a big problem like that, you need to get it fixed. Maybe you are allergic to something and you see it in the food that you ordered in the restaurant. Even though you told the waiter, I'm allergic to this, please don't put it in my food. So, sorry, but I need to make a complaint. This is something that is important that you need to get fixed. Number 6. Excuse me, but there seems to be a problem with blah, blah, blah. Excuse me, but there seems to be a problem with this shirt I just bought. There's a huge hole in it. Number 7. Excuse me, I wonder if you could please help me. Excuse me, I wonder if you could please help me because I think you didn't give me the right amount of change. Okay? So maybe you are going shopping and you pay for something with a $20 bill and you think, oh, I should get like $14 in change back, but you only get $4.10 in change back. You need to make a complaint about this. So, excuse me, I wonder if you could please help me. I think there's been a mistake. Even though you know for sure there is a mistake, I think there's been a mistake. Expression number 8. Sorry, I hate to complain, but. Sorry, I hate to complain, but. Maybe my neighbors are having a party on Tuesday night and I have to work the next day because it's Wednesday. I don't want to be rude, but I want them to be quiet. In my mind, I want to knock on their door and yell, "Shut up, it's Tuesday night. What's wrong with you making all this noise? I have to sleep. Aren't you considerate of other people's feelings?" But you catch more flies with honey than with vinegar, so I'm sorry. I hate to complain, but could you please keep the noise down a little bit? Number 9. Excuse me, I think there's a problem with blah, blah, blah. For example, excuse me, I think there's a problem with the remote. When I push the buttons, nothing's happening on my TV. Expression number 10. Excuse me, could you please help me resolve an issue with blah, blah, blah. Could you please help me resolve an issue with whatever it is that you are having a problem with? For example, maybe I call my cell phone company or I go into their office and I say, "Excuse me, could you please help me resolve a problem with my cell phone bill? It is $40 higher than it was last month." Expression number 11. Sorry, but I'd like to draw your attention to an issue. Sorry, but I'd like to draw your attention to an issue. For example, sorry, but I'd like to draw your attention to an issue. The doors on the subway train close too quickly for people with disabilities or elderly people to get on and off the train in a safe way. Right? So, sorry, but I'd like to draw your attention to an issue. Meanwhile, what I'm really thinking is, holy crap, can't you wait 10 extra seconds for somebody in a wheelchair to get off the train that you have to practically close the doors on them? Be patient. Haste makes waste, don't you know? But I'm going to be polite. Sorry, I'd like to draw your attention to this issue. Expression number 12. Excuse me, I understand it's not your fault, but. Excuse me, I understand it's not your fault, but. This is a polite way to complain to someone, and you're letting that person know that you're not trying to attack that individual by complaining, but you want to complain about something that's part of the company that individual works for. For example, I'm waiting for the bus and waiting for the bus and it just does not come. Half an hour goes by, the bus is supposed to come every 10 minutes. Where is it? And the bus driver finally comes. I want to yell, "What the hell? I've been waiting for 30 minutes. Where were you? You're supposed to have been here 3 times by now." But you need to complain nicely to the bus driver. So, excuse me, I know it's not your fault, but I've been waiting for 30 minutes for a bus, and I think that that's a little bit unacceptable. Our last 3 ways to complain today are using the expression, "I'm afraid." I'm afraid in this case does not mean, "Oh my gosh, I'm so scared, I'm afraid." No. By saying, "I'm afraid that," blah, 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 it's a polite way of sharing some kind of bad news or complaint with someone in a polite way. Number 13, I'm afraid I've got a complaint about. I'm afraid I've got a complaint about. So for example, maybe I'm eating some food in a restaurant and I asked for no onions because I hate onions and they're not good for my stomach problems. And I'm eating and there's a lot of onions in this. So then, I'm afraid I've got a complaint about this food. I asked for no onions, but there's a lot of onions in this. Could I please have a different dish? Expression number 14. I'm afraid there's a slight problem with blah, blah, blah. I'm afraid there's a slight problem with whatever it is that you want to complain about. So maybe I order something online and the box gets shipped to me and I open my order, but the things that are inside the box are not what I ordered, or they're not the exact same as what I was expecting. So in that case, I might use this expression. Expression number 15. I'm afraid I need to let you know about a problem with blah, blah, blah. I'm afraid I need to let you know about a problem with the new washing machine in the basement. It doesn't seem to be working properly. Those were 15 ways in English that you can complain politely. After some of these expressions, there was a ... for you to fill in what your problem is. Really quickly, I'm just going to give you 5 things that you can say to help express what the problem is after you've already used one of the 15 expressions that we just talked about. Number 1, the trouble is. Number 2, the problem is. Number 3, the awful thing is, or the bad part is, the terrible thing is, and explain what the issue is that you're having. The next one, the issue is. Please explain what's wrong. And number 5, I'm a little bit upset because blah, blah, blah. Remember, you might not be a little bit upset, you might be furious and super angry. Those are 5 additional things that you can use after you have already used one of the 15 expressions that we mentioned earlier on in this lesson. When you are complaining about something, even if you are really, really upset because you're not getting what you paid for, or you got something in your food you didn't expect, or the product and the quality of it are not what you think you should be getting, please complain nicely, politely, and respectfully towards the other person, using the expressions, I'm afraid, blah, 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 I'm sorry, but, blah, 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 and excuse me. Okay? So these are 3 excellent ways to start off your complaints, even if you don't remember the rest of what we talked about from today's lesson. And now it's time for Question of the Day. Today's question is, what is a problem that you have complained about, or a problem that you wish you had complained about? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to hit subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you find this video useful. Mina, 勉強頑張ってね! じゃあね!